Hello, this is Nicholas Webb, and I'm going to talk about some video games, namely the Digimon World Series. Or, well, I guess it's not really the Digimon World Series, it's Digimon games in general. Well, probably the best one is probably either World 3 or Dawn Dusk combo. The Digimon World Championship was kind of a joke. You know, it's kind of like, okay, we're not playing anything. You know, you're not in a game. You're just raising things and then battling it, and you capture them. And there's absolutely no story. Then of course there's the the fighting games they created here for the Game Boy Advance, which, okay, they had their moments. They were actually kind of neat a lot of times. They had some neat aspects to them, but, they were watered down games. So, anyway, getting on to it. There hasn't been a Digimon game in, like, forever. And, well, I can understand why. Because, let's see if I can... Well, I got some light here. Not enough. Anyway, I can see why is that the franchise has been pretty well messed up. First problem is the people they have yet to really stick with a game system that really works. Now, when they got to this one, they stuck with a game system and they advanced upon that. The only thing is, I didn't really like it that much. I mean, it's Pokemon. It's it's basic turn-based, blah blah blah. Not impressed at all. Now, I know it's really a modified version of this one, Digimon World 3, which quite possibly is the best Digimon game you will find. I think it's one of the few, I think maybe Digimon World 1 did it, but it's one of the few Digimon games that got on PlayStation's, hot title list or whatever, where they did a re-release of the game and that weird kind of, this part right here was a different color. This game is it's probably one of the best, is either the best or one of the best in the series. Also depends on how you look at it, because the DS games don't exactly go with go along the same lines, because they were apparently called Digimon Story instead of Digimon World. But I digress. This game had a lot of neat things about it, and honestly, I want this game to be re-released. And I would want it, I don't know, a download title or something. Just some way. And now it might be on the PlayStation Network and I don't know about it, but I want to be able to play it on the system I have right now. And I don't want this version, because this version, I can play it. I have this version. The thing is that when they released this game, the very last part of the thing, some of the stuff you could do to kind of get all the items, just kind of, that's actually me shaking the table. Anyway, they left out the final thing, the actual championship thing that was supposed to be after you save the world. You're supposed to enter into the championship. They have a place for it and everything. When it got released in America, they had a place for it and everything. It didn't happen. You beat the game and you can't enter into the tournament. So here I come around and I discover the game actually had that version. I believe it was probably in the Japanese version, and it was probably in the English. It was in the England version too, like the Digimon World 2003, I think is what it called, something like that. I think it was 2003. And it's the same game, except it has that last bit, which allows you to go into the tournament. I want to play that bit. I mean, this game was great. We just didn't get all of it. And I personally love this game. On games that I would most likely revisit as this and the Mega Man Legend games. This game was great, and it was a basic setup, basic RPG. So if they could have just expanded it like today's game, if you take this same game, similar models, probably a little bit better than what they have, and just advance all the evolutions, give more evolutions, more forms, more character and everything. This game would be Digimon. This would be the best game to make a Digimon game. This system was the best to build off of. And this is the only game that worked in this system. All the other games work completely differently. And that's the problem. Is the Digimon World series never was consistent. Digimon World, the first one, works one way. Digimon World 2 works in a different way, and this one works another different way. And I don't know. I would like it if they just took this system, took it and redid it to, fit it. And also, I want the full version of this game at some point. Now, I don't know if there's any difference. I haven't heard anything if it's download anywhere like on the PlayStation Network, but it needs to be. This game was a blast. It was fun. It was intriguing, and it should be on a handheld system, and it should also be easily played. It should be something that you could easily throw together and make. It just shouldn't be. There shouldn't be anything wrong with it. I'd like some advanced stuff, like when you get different weapons, the Digimon is actually trying to hold that weapon, because that would just be fun and kind of neat, and your character is kind of unique. So, this was a good title. It had one of the best and most successful card battle mechanics ever, which on a handheld system would be ideal for, you do normal battle and then do card battle. In this system, it had the best card battle I think anyone's ever seen. Sorry, my hands, I forget where the camera is. So this one needs to be remade. This one needs to be remade, put on a handheld system, and made into something that we would all want to play. I mean, you re-release this one like Digimon World 3D. Yeah, I know, it's corny as can be, but if they did that and made it where, you only have to make the 3D parts like, maybe add some elements, but also, just kind of layer the sprites. Just do something and have the battles 3D. Just do something with this game and make it the full version, and then also give us where if someone else downloaded this title or bought this title, then they would be able to card battle and then normal battle. So you'd be able to fight each other whenever you damn well please. Because, a card battle system with this would be awesome. Because all you have to do is sit down like, oh, you got that game? I got it too. Let's battle. Card battle. Woohoo. And then normal battle. Woohoo. It would be, it'd be a simple setup. It just modifies what's already here. And, I think it would be a fun title. And it may not need to be on the 3DS, but it could be on the DS. Just something that would allow gamers to play this game. Because this game is awesome. And this game needed to have that card battle system expanded. And yeah, when you get later in the game, you have good ways to cheap shot people, but after a while, you're just cheap shotting each other. And I don't know, this was always a fun system. This game was great. I don't know why they did not include it, like why this game didn't get fully transferred and everything. But it's a good game, and that's what we need. Now, World Championship is, I played it. I kind of enjoy it. But honestly, I spent too much money. It wasn't really worth it. It's just training Digimon. I keep track of them. It was kind of fun, and little aspects of it need to be different. And it had no story, so it was mainly just, hey, I got this game, if you got it too, we can battle each other. And when you try to do like online battling, not many people would love playing this anyway, but this game had potential, but it didn't really, it didn't have any story, and you weren't really rewarded that much. And, it was a fairly basic system. To me, this felt like it should have been a download title, because it's not much more complicated than that. And also, if it was a download title, then you could get it updated and have, get more Digimon in it, and that might keep it going. You have a download title on your DSi or 3DS, play it for a bit, and like the 3DS might even have it, as a download title there. Then you could, get like updates when your Digimon are needing something or something. I mean, they have all kinds of bits that, a game like this as a download title would be brilliant. But having to buy this, and then, you get the game and it's meh at best. It wasn't fun. It wasn't that much fun. It just didn't really do it for me, and it had no story, none at all. And I think that's what killed it, is it had no story. But I like it. I would like it if we could, do more to the game. Somehow make it work better. So, that was that one. And now, time for, and I'm going to talk about these titles now, as soon as the camera adjusts. Alright, these titles, first, Dawn. Honestly, to me, Dawn looks like it's mainly a modified version of Digimon World 3. It has similar graphics, but less of it. It had the same kind of concept. Your Digimon follow behind you. You get to run around, and they follow behind you in a certain way. It just didn't have all the beautiful sprite work that Digimon World 3 had. So, Dawn was just trying to simplify the system. Digimon Battle Spirits and Battle Spirits 2, I can't find my first one, I would show it to you. Those games are lackluster. I mean, they're okay, they're good, but again, it's one of those, not much to it. I mean, it'd be a fun download, and if you could battle your friend, it would be awesome, which I think you can if you have the link system, but, it's not really, it's not nothing you really can write home about, really. It's kind of meh. And Dawn was pretty good, but then you beat the main story, and then you get into these other side quests, and the side quests are hard to understand which way you're supposed to be going, and I think the difficulty leveling is just off the wall. I mean, it just seems really odd. See if I can make this work a little bit better. Sorry, I'm trying to find, I'm not used to using this camera and stuff. Well, anyway, and that game had some really neatness to it, but it needed more work. So, that game is that. Digimon World 3. A great game. World 4. There's a lot of things I don't get about this game. One, if you look at Guilmon and Doromon, the first thing you should notice is, the question that comes to mind is, how are they holding their weapons? Take a look. Doromon has no thumbs. Agumon has had thumbs, and so does Vmon. Guilmon, no thumbs. So how do they use those weapons? And to me, that's just, kind of annoying. Honestly, though, my favorite character was Doromon. I enjoyed all his abilities, and you could get, Garurumon, Where Garurumon X as a playable character with him fairly easily. And which also brings up a point I forgot to mention. In all the earlier games before the DS titles, every Digimon could become every Digimon. Except maybe the rookies can't become other rookies or something. This title had the same kind of issue. But, it was pretty hard to get it, and the gameplay was actually kind of fun. I mean, you go around and you just level up your characters like crazy. It's repetitive can be because you have to repeat, in order to get the full ending, you have to beat the game 3 times. I've beaten it twice. Now, in succession with each hard mode. And I don't mean like in a row, I mean just, we had the first to beat the first one that unlocks hard mode. Then you beat that one, you get really hard, or very hard mode. And then the main difference is that, everyone's just, powered up and upgraded, and there's nothing really new. You're just dealing off a lot more damage. And it's kind of gypped in that way. So you can upgrade your guys quite a bit, but it's not really worth it, The characters need to, be usable in some way. And I like this. The funny thing is, I have a lot of harsh criticisms of this game. But, to be truthful, I can't think of a better game to get together with a bunch of Digimon fans and play. And, they bring their memory cards, they plug in their stuff. You fire it up. This can go up to 4 players. If you have the multi-tap on the PlayStation, you can go up to 4 players and just start kicking butt right and left. And of course, each player has to save their own memory and stuff, so that has to happen. But really, 4-player Digimon game, awesome. It's kind of like a beat 'em up. The only difference is that you have to keep going and going. And I wish that there was more games like that. And I wish I had, more friends who would sit down and play with me. This game was a blast when you have friends, and that's the point. And, sometimes I'd play through it and leveled up. I think I got, a little bit through the very hard mode, and I just kind of given up mostly. But this is a game I do want to go back and play more. It was fun. It was well done. Character design is just, it was a little weird, but I love the weapon design. The weapons are just ridiculously neat and really unique. And, this game, I almost want to hate it, but I can't because it is just that much fun. It's just that much fun. Now, it was called Digimon World X, I think, in Japan. But anyway, this game is great, and, besides some of those weirdness in it, and again, this is a completely different system. This is more of a level up, beat 'em up kind of thing. And, you each save your character and you modify them as you go, but you can level up every character you got. And so if you and 3 other friends and have this game and a multi-tap for the PlayStation 2, this game is legendary. Because you sit back and you sit down and enjoy your time with your friends as you try to work together to beat the snot out of a bunch of bad Digimon. The game just was fun. And this is another game that, I don't know, it needs to be re-released. And also, I like it to be advanced. I want more to it. Maybe a sequel to the game, but something that makes the game more visually pleasing to keep playing. You don't play it over and over again, the same levels. I mean, this one was really bad about it. So you have to, and it's part of the game, not like another version of the game. So with that, I think that Digimon World 4, if you like Digimon and you have friends who like Digimon, this is the game to get. The thing, and it also came with a Digimon CCG card of Doromon that was honestly ridiculously overpowered. I had a combo set up where on your opponent's turn, you send them up forward and you have like Lilymon in your hand, send them to the attack row, throw a bunch of plus attacks on them and blow up one of their creatures. And then during their Digivolve phase Digivolve them into Lilymon, which is one of the hardest Digimon to even touch. And it was a great combo. It was fun. Now, of course, that game was flawed with a lot of other things, mainly because they just didn't keep going and they were letting the game dictate what the Digimon did rather than what the Digimon did in the game. So, it was kind of, they were building from the wrong standpoint. But still, fun game, worth getting. Now, oh boy. This is a game that I bet you at some point the angry video game nerd will review. I just think that this is quite a possibility. The game is more or less... It's another one of those things. It's terrible. This one came with stickers rather than just than a card, because at that time the CCG was dead in America, mainly because they canceled it before the new series came out and they didn't want to wait for it to come out, and they promised us some kind of machine Digimon booster set. So it'd be like, oh cool, machine Digimon. Never got them. Now this one had some of the most interesting things. Now, it had one thing that I loved was a 3D Digimon index. But it was only stuff that in the game and only stuff you saw in the game. So if you ran into it and survived, that's all you got. So, yeah, that makes sense. Something on my... I'm trying to figure out what's on there. Okay, I got whatever that was. Anyway, this game, though, was corny. And it kind of had... It went back to the really basics of the RPG setup. I mean, it's a really basic RPG with some elements that they took the characters through in there. Like, the Digivolution lines are all screwy, but they aren't, they don't necessarily interact with each other all the time. Every Digimon can become some of the Numamon and whatnot, certain Numamons. But, Geo Greymon will not become Gyugamon or something like that. So they had their own unique ones, which that was a great advance. The only thing is that the battle system was, I mean, I can kind of say it's not like the other ones. You have to kind of depend on how your Digimon feels about doing certain battles. And when your Digimon gets hurt, they get scared, and suddenly, whoop, your Digimon only wants to run. So you have to come up with some kind of command or something to try and make them feel better or heal them or something. So you have to care about their feelings. Which, okay, I'll bite that. That makes sense. It's a little annoying, and you kind of get an idea of the mood of your Digimon. So it's kind of neat. But overall, I just gotta say the game was just corny. Though it took, the battle system was actually pretty fun. Because you had to not only, as you leveled them up and everything, the Digimon would actually get a little bit more coherent on what they want to do. As you can control them better, just because they're better. And when as you level them up, it's not like, oh, I level up you level up their core Digimon. And so the Agumon is the core, and you level him up until you can level him up quite a bit. And as you unlock evolutions, once you unlock the evolution, you got it. And so you can start shifting around, and whenever you do the evolution, there's some kind of little cutscene that happens where they have their Digisoul charge and power up. Which comes to another issue with this game that was actually pretty funny at times. Marcus. I forgot what his Japanese name is, but I just use the English names because, they're names I'm familiar with easier. This guy right here, he was a giant pain sometimes. Because in order to digivolve your Agumon, Marcus has to punch a Digimon. And the Digimon has to survive. So when you're going on a level up thing, you need to find something big for him to punch when you get up to a certain point. Because if you don't, Geogreymon or whatever Agumon it turned into, he ain't gonna digivolve because you killed him. I have one time took out an entire attack using nothing but Marcus trying to digivolve Agumon, because every time he punched him, he killed him. Like at first that wasn't a big deal, but as you get going, it's like boop, dead, boop, dead. Dang it, I just wanted to digivolve. So you fit the requirements, you just can't find anything strong enough to survive the Fist of Marcus. So it's kind of annoying. In the show, he didn't always have to punch. It was just that's when he got the most worked up. I don't know. It was weird. The show's battles were kind of, not interesting at all. They were kind of I'm stronger, now I'm stronger, now I'm stronger thing. This game didn't have that. Sometimes you had that strategy, all kinds of stuff. There was a lot of thought. So it was a fun game, but man, was it corny. I don't know, maybe the Angry Video Game wouldn't get too angry over this one, but it is just crazy game, and if you really want to, play a weird Digimon game, this is one of the more advanced ones, this is one of the better ones, on Digivolution stuff. The only thing is that it's got too easy on certain parts, and then when you try to get all your evolutions, it gets harder because you've already leveled up your characters so damn much that you can't quite get them there. So, it has its ups and downs. Honestly, I like the Digivolution system in this one the best. Everything else about it, I could come and go. Honestly, I would love to see a Digimon game using a similar system to like Digivolution to this, and even the command structure similar to this. I know some people probably don't want that, but I think it was actually kind of neat. Maybe less overpowering with all the ridiculousness of it filling up the screen with stuff, so you're like, okay, he's in this mood. It doesn't have to be that big. It may just be, you show a list of his commands, and it says, and it gives you like a number of how much that Digimon wants to do it. It's just something a little bit simpler to try to keep it from looking weird. And because I like the idea of, having to use it. Now, I like that command structure, and also, there's another thing I would want it to be, is I want it to be like, hold on, can't find it, Final Fantasy 12. I want it to be some kind of a modification system of this. Now, if you hadn't played it, a lot of people were kind of, I don't really like that game. It's too different. Where's my turn base? Yes, people were actually complaining that they didn't get to take turns. I've always disliked RPGs for that reason. Was the turn base, that just seems silly. Why don't you run up and kill the guy? That's kind of how everyone thinks. Well, I agree. So Final Fantasy 12 had such a beautiful system of making you run up. You actually, you controlled your characters. The Gambit system was just so great. You had the Gambit system. I had a special edition. This was a gift. When I got it, I said, I didn't even know I wanted this game. So I like this game. For the simple fact of, you get to do this. You get to have these choices. And this is what I'd want. I want the battle system to work like this one. Because you don't feel like you're, you don't ever feel like when you're playing this game, well, why don't you just go up and run and hit him? You don't get that. Because you do run up and go and hit him, and you have like a bar saying, alright, he's about ready to do a move. Until that move's done, he can't do it. He's tired or something. You have all these other aspects that explain, like, okay, this is why they're taking so long. And that is what I want to see in a Digimon game, is something that works along those lines. Final Fantasy 12 had I like that system. I like the idea that when you actually are fleeing from something, you know how you're fleeing. You see yourself fleeing. The things are there, you see them. And yes, in some places it might be easier or harder to work with than the other one. But I'm just I want a game like this. I want the next Digimon game to come out. If it's going to be like any kind of system, I want it to work like Final Fantasy. And now I know a lot of people aren't exactly keen on that version of the game, but I am. And I think a Digimon game with a similar system, but with Digimon and kind of the Gambit system, where characters do it automatically, and you can change their criteria as you go on. That way you can say, oh, you come up with something like the Gambit system in Digimon and da-da-da. The game would be fun, because, as your Digimon improve, you kind of get like, oh, when you're fighting something that's undead, always use a fire attack. Or always use this attack or that attack. So your Digimon, as you go through the game, you learn how to kick butt better. And that's kind of the neat thing. That would be an awesome way to handle a Digimon series. A game like that, a series game, whatever. It would be an awesome thing to handle. And that's what I want to do, is I want there to be a Digimon series of games. Or just one. Probably a few, so they can start getting it good. Where, you sit down, you got your evolution, you have some in-depth story, and it's just something you can do, something you can come up with. And you have like a very huge set of things going, because if they did a Cross Wars game with that similar system, the only thing you'd have to do is say, oh, cross time, and then if your Digimon can handle your opponent's Digimon fine without them crossing, they know how to do it. They learn how to beat a certain type of Digimon or a certain type of ability. Give them some kind of AI, and also give it where something where they learn, or something like the Gambit system, something to kind of tell you where you can teach your Digimon how to take care of something. How to beat this Digimon, how to beat Mommymon fairly quickly. And as time goes on, as they improve and all that, they're able to just wipe them out. And you don't have to tell them a dang thing. So like if in Cross Wars type game where you have a lot of Digimon to work with, the more you do that, they're having trouble here. Well, you keep doing battles, and suddenly they get into the point where they're facing the same thing. They do what you've been telling them to do automatically after a while, or you come up with a way to tell them how to do it all the time automatically. Just something that keeps the game going. So that's what I'd love to see in a Digimon game, something like that. Because you have a playing a general like that would be amazing. Because you're like, oh, I'm a Digimon general. All right, these Digimon do this, this, and this, and you have a huge amount of them. So it could get a little bit more complex, but a Digimon general game would be fun. And then you start crossing your Digimon, would be just really cool too, because then you suddenly get a huge Digimon. So that's what I would like to see. Another thing I'd like to see is Digimon World Form modification. If it could be online somehow, just some way to make it online, I would say, you get the ability to customize the look of your Digimon a lot more. Because I've seen this really neat punk-looking Renamon that looks like she took some of Rika's clothes or something. Just something to kind of help you identify that this is your own Digimon. Maybe even color changes. And then, of course, abilities play a factor. So, that would be what I'd want to see in a Digimon game. Those are my thoughts. They need to at least try to stick with a system, because they never really have, except for the DS system. And the DS system, it's Pokemon. It's a modified version of Pokemon, to be honest. And Digimon doesn't need to be a Pokemon clone like that. It needs to be its own thing. And these games they come up with do a pretty good job of it. And if they can build on this concept, then we're golden. And this would be one of the greatest, it'd be some of the great games you'd want to play. But as it is, Digimon hasn't done it. I hope that somebody from Bandai might listen to this and just give me their thought. Actually take some of this to heart and actually give us a game. And those of you who are wondering, yes, this is a Mega Man symbol, the dragon, and this is from Cross Wars. I'm awaiting some more stuff from them. So I want to play a new Digimon game, something that's really worth it. And I mean, there's no reason they can't do it. So this is Nicholas Webb. I've been long-winded here, so I will catch y'all later. Everyone, hopefully you have a good week and whatnot. Peace, love, and peanut butter.